Hi, hello. Mm, Welcome to all. So this time again, I came with a new interesting screen flow elements. Okay, by saying the screen, you might have you might have get to know. So whenever you use the flows, whenever you use the flows, when the creating the child records or something. So what you will do, you used to be query all the records which to has to create, and then looping the all the records and adding into the separate collection or and mapping the fields into the one of the record and adding into the collection and do the DML operations, right? So instead of that, we have a option called transformation. So using that, we can avoid the loops. Okay, let's first of all generic scenario how we used to do the how we used to do before seeing this video. How we used to do create the flow. Let me show you. Okay, so the use case here I'm taking is when the case status is changed to working. The use case which I am taking is here when the case status is to working, changed to working, then account should be there, and account has multiple contacts. Account has the multiple contacts. For each contact, there should be one task has to created under the open activity in a case. That was the requirement. I'm repeating again the use case. The status is changed to working. The accounts, the case account has the multiple contacts. The contacts for each and every contact, there should be one activity has to be created. This is a small use case. So how we will do in a how we will do in a trigger flows. I'll just deactivate this one. I have older one. I don't want to go with that. I'll do the deactivate. Okay, so how we will do? We'll go first on the object is case and then case record is created or updated. There might be some conditions we will be adding, like saying that account ID is null. I mean, there should be the account, right? So is null false, and then status status is changed. Then only run the trigger is changed to. And then we will add. See, I'm just trying to accommodate the what the use case discussed. There might be a different ways we have to add the best practices, right? So those things I'm not considering here. Here, my intention is just to explain how can we use the how can we use the futures in this flow. Okay, okay. So this is I have created. Okay, and then let me give with loop. Okay, so after that, what we will do? We will get query. Let's do a service. We use a get query to get the all account contacts, correct? Get all contacts. Okay, so contacts. The way condition was count ID equal to case account ID, correct? So that's what our, so we need all the records. Okay, and then what we will do next? We will use the loop, correct? We'll use the loop. Loop all contacts. So contacts from get all contacts. And then what we will do? What we have to do now is we have to create a task, correct? To create a task, what we need, first of all, we need a assignment. That assignment task mapping, correct? So what we used to do, we will create one resource, which is a record resource for variable for type was a record, correct? So record, and then this will be the task, correct? So stay variable, here we will task is subject, I will say, and then okay, so here task what id related to equal to, I will say, case case id, correct? And then, so I don't want to fill all the fields, I'm just filling mandatory fields. Who id equal to loop, current loop id, okay? And then in a subject, the subject equal to, so here we have to add, let's assume, case subject plus some case subject plus first name and last name or something, then you have to go for the formula, then add it, right? And then what has to do next? This entire thing we have to add into one of the collection, right? So I'll create a new resource. Again, the variable task. I'll say list of tasks. List of stock, data type, record, allow the multiple task. So there is some fundamentals I'm just skipping. People might know this, that's why. Task. Okay, there is a task is object. Okay, so task is object. So this is what we will do, correct? Usually. Okay, so after that, what we will do, we will just insert. So create a record task. So multiple task. We will select the list of tasks. Correct. So this is how we used to do the loop. Correct. So if something complex logic is there, this loop will be the loop body will be going to bigger one. Correct. So what I will suggest is instead of doing a loop here, we can use the transformation. So for that, what we have to do, let me delete this. Okay, and then okay, before deleting also, I just want to be so next tomorrow if you want to add one more task field here, what you have to do? You can't add here, right? You have to delete this. I mean that you have to delete this and then add new field and then add you to list. Correct? Okay, so this is one of the disadvantages. So even there will be the limitations even for the transformation also. So I'll tell you that limitations also here we can avoid or we can mm, do the some other ways to think to overcome that limitation. Okay, so I'll give the I'll say here the task mapping. So we did the query here, right? So source will be the our query data. So what was that our query data? Task. There might be some confusion. I'll delete the resources also which I created. I don't want that. Even list also I don't want. Okay, so it is a dependence. It says to delete the. I'll delete this one also. Hmm. Yeah, this is the which we from the all context. Okay. Okay, so transformation. Correct. So we have selected here all the records which we have get. So what record we have to create here? The data type is a record data type. So then object is a task. So we have to create a multiple record, right? So we have to allow to create with a collection. So this is the target. So now what you have to do, just you have to map the fields. Okay, now account ID to this account ID. Yes, sorry
Okay.
guys. I was saying this entire video account ID to this account ID. Transformations. It's not the transformations actually.
There was some issue with my
This
mouse.
will be the transform. Usually we have to pronounce transform. So sorry for that. And one more thing I missed. It's not. There was some limitations I was saying, right? The limitation was whatever you are writing a
There was
formula
some
here,
issue
right?
with. Let me save
That
it first.
formula should be should not be the
Refresh.
cross 255 characters. Count. Okay. Then what we need what ID, who ID. See, what ID should be the case record, but we have here all contacts only, right? So how can I get the case? We can't get the case here, right? Like mapping is the the source is not there. So you can add a multiple sources here. So now what I'll say, I'll take the record here, which is the current record. So from the current record, we have the ID, correct? So this ID I will map to what ID. So what will be the who ID now? who ID will be the contact ID. So contact ID, correct. So then next is I'll map the status, not the status, there might be some dependencies will be there. I'll just change the subject. So what I will do the subject is I will give the same case subject, whatever it is, but there is a requirement, there is a requirement says that subject should be subject should be case subject at the end appended with the first name and last name of the contact. Okay, so how we can achieve that? So for that, there might be multiple things. You can create the formula and then that formula you can append here, but it's not like that. We have a two options. One for formula, then you can create a formula from here also. That formula field you can keep it here. So for now, I'm doing a formula here itself. I'll give some space and then concatenation, and then here I'll use the resource from the transformation. Which one it is? The transformation. Yes, this one only. The first name, we type it, first name, and then plus some space. So here I'm trying to explain here how we can use the formulas in a transformation. We have one option here, so that's what my intention here. Okay, check the syntax. Yes, syntax is correct, perfect. So after that, what will happen? The mapping. So which was taken earlier? It was subject, correct? So now if you see here, it is mixing with the case subject and then first name and last name. Like this, you can write any formula or anything, any mapping here. So let me save it, and then next what we have to do. That's all. We are done with the mapping. What next to do? We have to insert, right? So create record. There might be some questions. What about update scenario? Yes, you append the uh, ID, then it will go for update. While giving a mapping, you just append the ID, so it will automatically map. So we have to create a multiple records here. Here you will see transformation, no mapping. And then you say here update existing records. It's a disable, you just enable automatically. Okay, now I just save. We will run this flow debug mode. Later we'll activate it. Okay, so what I will do is I'll take the same case because of this case has linked with this account. This account has a multiple contacts, correct? So I'll take the same case to do the debug. And immediately this should be the update scenario, rollback, and then select this account, sorry, this case, and then now maybe let's assume it is a new scenario. I'll say no. I have to change this to new first. Okay, so I'll say no. What we have to do is we will be changing here. Select again. Let it load it again. Status, it is still working. Okay, I'll say working. and run. What happened? Explain all labels. Entry criteria is not matched because of we have kept here all update status is changed then work, right? So that's why I think I'll do the debug again. Okay, what happened? This is status now it's new. I'll change to the working. Run it. This transformation is done. There was three records scheme. See account ID, account ID, account ID. Yes, it will work. Let's do the activate. Jump on to the how it will work. Okay, so I'll just refresh this record. I'm taking this record as an example. The status of this is new. There is no open activities. Coming to the account. Account has three contacts. Okay, only three contacts. Chalo, change the status to working. Save it. Yes, working. Activities got created. See, the subject came with the IDs. I mean, first name and last name. And coming to the what ID, who ID. So what ID is created because of the case. It's showing on the case means what ID is linked with the case. Coming to the who ID. Yes, this contact is a who ID. Then other fields, whatever you want to add it, you can map it. So that's it. I hope it's an interesting video. I think it will be the very useful to avoid writing a loops in your flow. Sometimes the loops will be irritating. I hope this will be the very useful information you two guys. I think you can share this video to your colleagues, your friends who are working on the Salesforce. Thank you.